In this video, you will learn to multiply by a one-digit number. So to multiply by a one-digit number, there's actually two different ways we can approach this. So method one is as follows. If we had 284 multiplied by 2, how would you multiply these two numbers together? Well, first off, make sure you know your times tables for one-digit numbers. So make sure you can do like 5 times 9 or 8 times 7. Make sure you have those mastered, all right, because that is necessary to do this. Now what we're going to do is the number we're multiplying by, so here we're multiplying by the 2. What we do is we take the 2 and multiply it by each digit up here on this top number. So you multiply it by the 4, by the 8, and by the 2. So if we do 2 times 4, work from right to left, 2 times 4, that gives you 8. So we put 8 down here. And then we multiply the 2 times 8. So this 8 right here, take 2 times this 8. 2 times 8 is 16. And just like with addition, we can only take one number. So we can only take the 6. So we put the 6 here, and the 1 we carry up to the top. So now what we do is we take the 2 and multiply it by this 2 right here. 2 times 2 gives you 4, and then you add the 1. So 2 times 2 plus that 1 that we carried would give you 5. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So the answer, put it all together, is 568. And that's all you do. Alright, so we're going to try another example. We'll do one more and try to do this one as much as you can on your own. And then you can check your work once you're finished. So here we have a 4-digit number multiplied by a 1-digit number. We have 8,674 multiplied by 8. So what we do is we take this 8 down here, we multiply it by the 4, the 7, the 6, and the 8. So 8 times 4 is 32. So we take the 2 from 32, put it down here, and the 3 we carry up above the 7. So now we do the same thing again. We take the 8, multiply it by 7. 8 times 7 is 56. But then we have to add the 3 that we carried up here. 8 times 7, 56, plus 3, that gives you 59. So we can take the 9 from 59, put it right here, and then the 5 from 59 we carry up above the 6. And then we repeat. 8 times the 6 is 48, and then 48 plus the 5 that we carried would give you 53. So we can take the 3 from 53, put it down here, and the 5 we can carry up above this 8 in the thousands place. So now we repeat again. We take 8 times the 8 and then add the 5. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 plus 5 gives you 69. So we put it all together and we get our answer of 69,392. So that's the process for multiplying by a one-digit number. And this is one method we can use. Another method we could use is we take our multiplication problem. Say we're doing 2 times 28. This method 2 is helpful especially for mental math, so trying to do this in your head. What we can do is we can imagine the 28 as being 20 plus 8. Right? That is a true statement. And what we do is we take this 2 in the front and we multiply it by the 20 and then multiply by the 8. 2 times 20 plus 2 times 8, that would give you 40 and then 16. If you add 40 and 16, that gives you 56. So again, your answer is 56, but this method, method 2, is especially helpful when you're trying to do calculations in your head. Because you can just look up here and see 2 times 28, and you can think, oh, 2 times 20, and then 2 times 8. Put it together. And that'd be 40 and 16 for 56 as a final answer. Let's try another one with this method 2. Here we have 63 times 7. So for method 2, you probably want to put the small number first to help you, I guess, visualize this better. So we have 7 times 63. So the mental steps you want to take is going to be thinking of 63 as 60 plus 3. So you take the 7 times 60, and then the 7 times the 3. 7 times 60, we do 7 times 6, that gives you 42. And just put a 0 at the end, so we have 420. And then 7 times 3 is 21. 20 plus 21 is 41. So that would be 441 as your final answer. All right, so this is method 2. Now to finish off the lesson, we want to learn how to estimate by rounding. So let's say we wanted to get an answer that's close to the actual answer without going through all the steps of all the calculating. Well, here we have 52 times 8. And if you were to estimate this, what we can do is you can round the number, so the bigger number, the 2 or 3 or 4 digit number, whatever we have, we can round it to the greatest place, meaning the first digit we can round. So the 5 we can round by looking at the 2. And because 2 is 5 or smaller, the 5 would stay as a 5 and then just follow it up with zeros. So we have 50, right, which makes sense. 52 is closer to 50 than to 60. So we can think of this as 50 times 8. And this we can do in our heads because we know 5 times 8 is 40. And just put one more 0 at the end. That gives you 400. So the answer, your estimated answer, is 400. And the actual answer, if you took the time to multiply, is 416. So notice that's pretty close to the actual answer. And by the way, just a reminder, this notation right here, that little squiggly line, the 2 squiggly lines, that means approximately or close to. So it's close to 400. All right, let's try another one. See if you can do this one on your own. Here we have 45 times 4. So how would you estimate this problem? Well, to do this, you can round the number 45 and determine is it closer to 40 or to 50. Well, it's going to round up to 50 because this 5 is 5 or bigger. So the 4 rounds up to a 5, and then you put a 0 at the end. So that would be about 50 times 4. And we can do 5 times 4 in your head. That's going to be 20. And then just put a 0 at the end to get 200. So your estimated answer is going to be 200. And the actual answer, if you were to take the time to multiply, would be 180. So notice your estimated answer is pretty close to the actual answer. Let's try a third example. Here we're dealing actually with two two-digit numbers, which the lesson was multiplying with one-digit numbers, but we can still do it here because if we round 68, that would round to 70, right? The 6 would round up to 7 because the 8 makes it go up. And then 53, that can round to 50. That's closer to 50 than to 60. So what we have is 70 times 50. So this we can do in our heads because 7 times 5 is 35. And then we have 2 zeros to put after. So your estimated answer is 3,500. And the actual answer, we've not learned how to multiply two-digit numbers together yet, but you could use a calculator and you would get 3,604. So again, notice that is pretty close to the actual answer. Let's try one more with rounding. Here we have a 3-digit number times a 2-digit number. So again, these numbers are bigger than what we did for the actual calculating, but we can still do it here because we have the tools that we need. All right, so if we round each of these numbers, okay, 587, we can round the 5 by looking at the 8. Okay, 8 is 5 or bigger, so the 5 we round up to a 6 and then follow it with zeros. That would be 600. And then 65, we can round the 6 by looking at the 5. The 5 is 5 or bigger, so the 6 would round up to a 7 and then put a 0 at the end. So that would round to get 600 times 70. And then to multiply those, we just do 6 times 7. That gives you 42. And then we have 1, 2, 3 zeros to put at the end. So your estimated answer is going to be 42,000. And the actual answer, if you use a calculator to multiply, you would get 38,155. So again, notice the estimated answer is pretty close to the actual answer. So in this video, we learn how to multiply by one-digit numbers, and we also learn how to estimate by rounding. And that concludes our lesson for today. We will see you next time.